Hello friend, in this video we are going to see into indirect utility function. We will see what is utility function, what all are its properties. We will also see what is the difference between the indirect utility and direct utility function. And ultimately we'll try to resolve one problem using indirect utility function, and we'll try to derive utility function out of indirect utility function. So as you can see the equation at the right hand side, you have indirect utility function, which is basically your maximize utility, and with when the your constraint is budget constraint, which is p1x1 plus p2x2 is equal to m. So first, what is indirect utility function? So we all know utility function, direct utility function. We know direct utility function is something which is written in terms of your quantity. So one of the function, which is your Cobb's Douglas function, you can write it like utility equal to x into y. X is the quantity of one and y is quantity of goods two. So that was your direct utility function, where you were writing utility in terms of quantity. What is indirect utility function? Indirect utility function is a function of prices of goods and the consumer's income or budget. So your indirect utility function is basically represented in terms of your price of goods and consumer's income or budget. And why the function indirect it is used? Because consumer usually generally consider their preferences in terms of what they consume, which is quantity rather than price. So quantity, when it is presented, it is your direct utility function, but when it is presented in terms of price and income, it is indirect utility function. So basically in your normal utility, it represents your consumer preference as a function, and your indirect utility function, it is a maximized value of utility at the given price and income. So why we are saying the maximized value of utility at the given price and income? For the normal, which is your, you can see on the screen, your uxy, which is your direct utility function, you maximize it given the income constraint, and then you get a new function which is ux star and y star, and that is your utility function, where your x is demand of x in terms of px, py and m, and y star is demand of y in terms of dy, demand of y in terms of px, py and m. So just to reiterate again, your indirect utility function is the maximum of your direct utility function, which is ux and ux, which is function of x and y, given the constraint of your budget constraint. When you derive it, so it will give you indirect utility function, which will be x star and y star, which is the maximum of x star and y star, and x star is your demand in terms of px, py and m, y star is demand in terms of px, py and m. Let's see the property of indirect utility. So U star, what you are seeing here, is the maximum utility, which is written in terms of indirect utility function. So in property of property of indirect utility function, there is no money illusion. So it is the degree 0 of homogeneous function. That means if prices P and income M are both multiplied by the same constant, optimal doesn't change, it doesn't have any impact. So in your indirect utility function, if you are multiplying price px, py by k and income also by k, your indirect utility function remains the same as it was earlier, like px, py in function of px, py and m. So there is no change. That's the first property. The second is it is homogeneous of degree 0 in prices and income, and we saw what it is. It is quasi-convex in prices, and it also confirms the Roy's identity. We will see what is Roy's identity in the next slide. Now we'll derive the Roy's identity. So now you know your indirect utility function is in terms of price, money. So now what we will do, we'll try to derive what happens when the price changes, what happens when the money income changes, and how do we derive your Roy's identity out of it. Let's see what happens when the price changes. So when we are talking about the price change, we are talking about utility with respect to the price. So First, we will record what happens with the price with respect to x. So we were trying to find out du by dpx. So du by dpx we can write as du by dx and into dx by dpx is the same expression, right? The same expression, and similarly with respect to x and similarly with respect to y, if we equate the equation, you will get du by dpx. So we can write it as du by dy into dy by dpx. Now du by dx and du by dy, this becomes lambda px. This is a change in utility with respect to x. So that will give you lambda px to dx by dpx plus this will give you lambda py dy by dpx. Now just take the dpx as denominator, then lambda px dx and lambda you can take outside plus py dy. Now isn't this expression is dm, because your m is equal to px x plus py dy pyy. So m is equal to pxx plus pyy. So this expression, this gives you dm. Now ultimately this is your lambda dm by dpx. Now your money income, your income divided by price, we can write this as, with respect to price x, we can write this as x, which will go into negative direction, so minus lambda x. So what we can say, the derivation du by dpx, du by dpx is lambda minus lambda x star. So take this as equation 1. So we saw what is this with respect to price. We got the one part. Second part, we have to find utility with respect to m. Now du by dm we need to define. Du by dm you can write again as du by dx and into dx by dm plus du by dy into dy by dm. So it's the same expression du by dm. When you are deriving, du is basically your xy as per your Cox-Douglas function. So when you are trying to divide it, so you can describe the equation like this. So now this equation, you du by dx, similarly what you uh, saw here in this, it had become lambda px and lambda py. So we'll similarly will put it here, lambda px into dx by dm plus lambda py into dy by dm equal to lambda, if you take out, px dx plus py dy divided by dm. The upper part again is this part again is your dm, as we saw above. This part is dm. So dm by dm into lambda. Then you can say du by dm is your lambda. This is your equation 2. So now we saw equation 1 where your du by px by lambda x star, and equation 2 we saw du by dm is equal to lambda. So now if we equate these two equations, what will become? So du by dm is lambda. You just put that equation into this equation 1. So that becomes du by dpx is equal to minus x star into lambda, which is du by dm. Now this will give you x star equal to minus du by dpx divided by du by dm, which is nothing but your Roy's identity. This is the equation for Roy's identity. So now we saw derivation, how using price changes and money income changes we define Roy's identity. So price income changes we derive the what is the equation by price changes and equation by money income changes, and then similarly we derive Roy's identity where you derive x will be du by dpx and du by dm. Similarly, if you want to derive y, you can say y star equal to du by dpy divided by du by dm. So that's your Roy's identity. Now just to give see one small example that how to derive your indirect utility function. So consider your direct utility function is u x y, and your income constraint m is equal to pxx plus py y. Now in order to derive it, what we need to see, by using our Lagrange function, we know that your marginal utility mux is equal to du by dx will be y, and similarly du by dy is equal to x. So we are just deriving your marginal utility with respect to s and with respect to y. So these when you maximize your utility, what happens? Your marginal utility divided by x becomes equal to marginal utility of y divided by y. So now you just have to just put these in these equations. So marginal utility of x is y, so y by x. Sorry, this is py. So marginal utility of x divided by price of x, and marginal utility of uy divided by price by y is your utility maximization. So now ux is putting this here, y by px is equal to x by py. We'll just put this into your income constraint, this equation. After putting into, we can derive y. So y will become my 2py. Similarly, x will become my 2px. Now you can derive your utility, you replace your utility by these two, which will become m by 2px into m by 2py So now your utility has become m square by 4 px py. Now you can see utility, you can see in the terms of price and income. Price has a negative effect which is inversely proportional. Income is directly proportional for the utility. So utility which you earlier saw was in terms of your quantity, which is your direct utility function. This was your direct utility function. And now if you come here, you will see this as an indirect utility function. So this is your indirect utility function, which is not in terms of quantity, it is in terms of price and income. So now indirect utility function also you saw this derivation come from the maximization equation. So if you see here, we use the maximization when we used this marginal utility divided by px, and this function is for when your utility is maximized and when we use the Lagrange equation to derive the maximum utility. So this function, this is how we are deriving indirect utility function. So indirect utility function, given your money and the price, what the maximum utility can derive, that's give you indirect utility function. That is your IUF, which is indirect utility function. So that's the derivation we saw, that how do we derive indirect utility function. Now we'll just solve one simple example from indirect to direct. How do we go? So look into the problem. Consider your indirect utility function G is equal to A minus V1 square. V2, V1 is for good 1 and V2 is for good 2. We need to derive the direct demand function, which is your Marsanian function, out of this. So how do we do that? So basically what V you see here, V is actually velocity, which is your P by M. So V1 will be Px by M and V2 will be Py by M. So now you can write this function. So you can write your function in terms of x and y by putting v1 equal to px by m and v2 is equal to py by m. Your g become a minus px square and py divided by pm divided by mq. Now you know Roy's identity. Using Roy's identity, we know the x star is du by dpx and du by dm, and similarly we know y star. So now using the Roy's identity, putting into this equation, we are going to derive x and y. So if you see, I just differentiated. What I did, I try to find out dg by dm, dg by dpy and dg by dpx. So these three equations I am going to put into the Roy's identity and try to find out x and y. So x equal to, if you see your x equal to your dg minus dg by dpx divided by dg by dm. So your x is dg by dpx, dg by dm, and then if you put these equation here, we'll just x and x, then remaining will remain, this will become positive, will remain 2m by 3px. Now x equal to is 2m by 3px, so this you can write as 2 by 3 v1, as we know v1 by px by m. So if we put it here, we can write it as x equal to 2 by 3 v1. Similarly, y is equal to m by 3py, which will give you y is equal to m by 3v2. This is equation 2. Equation 1, you can see x equal to 2 by 3v1 and y equal to m by 3v2. So your earlier indirect utility function was g equal to a minus v1 square v2. So what we are going to do, we are going to replace v1 and v2 by x and y. Then you will get your direct utility function. So your g is your utility function equal to a minus v1 square is your a. You have derived it as equation 1, which is px by which is 2 by 3 v1. So v1 equal to 2 by 3 x. So 2 by 3 x, and now v2 is equal to v2 is equal to, you can say 1 by 3y. So it becomes your u is equal to a minus 2 by 9xy. That become your direct utility function in terms of quantity. So your indirect utility function was in terms of money and price and income, which were P and M, and your direct utility function become in terms of quantity. So that is how you derive your direct utility function from your indirect utility function, making use of Roy's identity. So going back to the what we saw, what we saw today, what is indirect utility function, how it is, what is the properties, and what how it is derived from direct utility function, what is the difference between direct and indirect utility function, and then we saw what is the properties, different properties, and we saw what is Roy's identity, how do we derive Roy's identity, and ultimately we solved one problem of direct from indirect utility to direct utility. So we had one indirect utility function given, and using the Roy's identity we derive one direct utility function out of indirect utility function. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching.